Okay, here is your starting grid for the KZ2 Masters pre-final. Starting from pole position, Thierry Del Rey back in the saddle once again. Good to have you back, buddy. He'll be joined by Jeroen Bos from SP Motorsport on the front row. Very close between Wesley Duval and Eric Angenent. They round out row 2. 1/100th between them after qualifying. Niels Burler and Glenn Vandenhoek, the defending champion, round out row 3. Neki Berheni and Thierry de Jong, the thief in the middle of the night, start on row 4. Sebastian Koppenol and Yannick Quirinen round out the top 10 ahead of Niels Koster, William Klooster, Martin Versteeg, Mike Hendricks, and William van der Kaaij, who complete the top 15. Nick Bertram, Bas Schult and Benno Ridder, Bas Steen, Mark Verhoeven, Alexander Homerson, Gert van den Brink, Rees Llewellyn, Anton Gidding, Edgar Oosting, Sam Ward, Alan Kenyon and Anders Elkje. Now, Sam Ward, no functioning signal on the transponder during qualifying. Alan Kenyon, who on his 5th lap in qualifying put in a 52.547, Anders Elkje on his 6th lap in qualifying put in a 52.574 that would have put them on row 5. They were found to be underweight, so have been they were underweight by under a kilo, so they were put to the back of the grid. 194 Anders Elkje, well, insult to injury. 3-place penalty front fairing before the underweight penalty came into effect. Quickest lap time invalidated during yellow flag situation for the following drivers. That was Sebastian Koppenol, 136 Bas Steen and 133 Anton Gidding. So 23 degrees Celsius. Now we go back to one of the beautiful things about KZ2 competition. One of the most significantly, it's the most significantly difficult category to get right. And the one thing that you need to be textbook on is your start. There is a serious amount of torque that goes through these back axles, and you've got to get that biting point absolutely spot on. So 10 minutes plus 2 additional laps. For these drivers. The reason why we don't do a rolling start, the amount of torque through the back axle mated to a 6-speed shifter style transmission will literally obliterate it from a rolling start. These karts accelerate rapidly. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in around about 3 seconds. Top speeds approaching 150 kph. So, waiting patiently for the green flag at the back of the grid. 28 drivers into competition. Green flag waves at the back. Drivers instructed to look at the lights. The 4 red lights are on. The revs build. We're underway. Good start from the outside row by Jeroen Bos. Got the jump on Thierry Del Rey. They're fanning out 4 wide, 5 wide. Going into turns 1 and 2. And a big old incident for P3 coming out of turn 2. And look at the sheer acceleration coming out of turn 3 and into 5. So Jeroen Bos got the jump on Thierry Del Rey, who might have just slightly mistimed it, but still, through that second phase of the start, managed to get that momentum in that back axle, and it kicked him forward. We've had a coming together. 111, William Klooster and Sebastian Koppenol in the 150. And it looks like William Klooster's Nassau panel is not where it should be. That's a big shame there for the 111 on the CRG. After the opening lap, Jeroen Bos leads the way, closely being hunted down by Thierry Del Rey on a chassis bearing his name. He's very much become the Jack Brabham equivalent of karting. He's won championships on a kart bearing his name, and now he's looking for the move. Jeroen Bos goes tight to the inside, at turn 6. Wesley Duval on the Maranello. Thierry de Jong now up 4 spots on the CRG. He's now up to P4. Yannick Quirijn started from 10th on the grid, now runs P5. Niels Berler has done a really, really good... Well, Niels Berler down a position. He's down from 5th. Glenn Vanden Hoek started on the outside of row number 3, but Del Rey is hunting Jeroen Bos down and through into turn number 12. Bos again goes defensive. And more to the point, it will be the case of not if, when does Thierry Del Rey get that slingshot he needs in terms of slipstream and carries the momentum past Jeroen Bos. They're literally in each other's wheel tracks coming into turn number 6, down the gearbox. Now, shift up using the right hand, pulling the gear stick towards you. At full acceleration into turn 7 at the Europelan. But at the moment, Jeroen Bos able to get the traction down that little bit better. But you can see the way that Thierry Del Rey rotates the kart through the corners. And he's a little bit more aggressive when it comes to braking a little bit later into the turns. So lap 3 completed. Jeroen Bos, fastest lap of the race, 53.708. 3.5 tenths gap between him and Thierry Del Rey. Then it's a further 0.7 back to Wesley Duval, who's found a new lease of life going on to Maranello equipment as opposed to Birel Art last year. Thierry de Jong, good to see him back in the chrono karting paddock as well. Oh, Wesley Duval clips the curb coming out of turn 7. Sends the left side of the rear axle on the Maranello sideways going through, but he catches it nicely, holds it steady. Anders Elkjær has been like a rocket ship. The Dane is thundering his way through the field. He's up from last. He's now 15th. And he's running in the 53.4s at the moment. So having to battle his way through traffic to try and circumnavigate his way through. Other drivers that made significant improvements or significant increases. Bas Schouten up 6 places. Now runs P11. He's going to be right with Martin Versteeg at the moment. That's the battle for P10, along with Mike Hendricks. William van der Kuybatten has been passed, I think, by Anders Elkjær. So that is 15 places gained by the Dane in less than half the race alone. That's a worrying sight, or a worrying thought, let's say. So 5 minutes and 40 still to go. Thierry Del Rey still hounding Jeroen Bos. Now, if people might remember, when we went to Circuit Park Berchem, Jeroen Bos had not been in a kart for 4 months. He had knee surgery, rehabilitation, and he came back and he put it on pole. He took the win in the pre-final. He did a really, really good job. And he said, I haven't really been able to exercise because my core fitness is not where it should be. But now he's back into the swing of things. Thierry Del Rey goes purple. 52.902 by the man in the 103, and was literally 72 thousandths quicker that time around on lap 5. We're on lap 6, halfway through the race now, plus those additional 2 laps remaining. Del Rey just looking so menacing. Alan Kenyon has moved up from, he's past countryman Sam Ward in the meantime. The 2 Brits ran out the top 20. Rhys Llewellyn has dropped down to 26, so Rhys is the last of the classified runners and riders we have. Oh, right, driver 1 fight. Oh, dear, we've had another slap on the wrist and a sent to detention. Sebastian Cobbenol this time, 10-second penalty, insult to injury for very unsportsmanlike driving. Well, it must have been a pretty hard hit. We caught the tail end of it, and a big thank you to our camera crew. Big thank you also to Cab Company GmbH, who have provided us with this fantastic live stream. So good to have them on board, and of course they're helping with the live timing and the race control side of things in terms of the systems that are in provision. So Benno Ridder has got through, has split the two Brits of Alan Kenyon and Sam Ward at the moment. But at the minute, well, Jeroen Bos has responded to Thierry Del Rey with the fastest lap of his own after lap 7. 52.681 was over a tenth quicker than Del Rey. So, as we get into the latter stages of the race, it just goes to show that with KZ2 and KZ2 Masters, you have to conserve your tyres a little bit more. There's so much torque, probably the best part of over 200 pounds-feet of torque going through these back axles, and they're literally propelling the drivers forward like a rocket ship, millimetres across, over the ground. Like literally, you have to think of how low your feet are, how low your backside is, in comparison with the tarmac that the chassis is going to be scraping underneath on, which is literally, again, a few more millimetres just in between, you know, the lower extremities of the human body. So Benno Ridder drops down to 20th as Sam Ward has got back through. Bas Steen has lost a couple of positions, one to Erik Angenent, who started P4. So we are coming down to the final couple of minutes of this race. Thierry Del Rey and Jeroen Bos have been trading fastest laps quicker than two dueling knights in the battleground at the moment, but a great duel between them. Wesley Duval still trying to close on in, but it's proving to be a little bit difficult as the temperature still, it continues to skyrocket. We're at 23 degrees centigrade air ambient temperature, which means that the track's going to probably feel like about 35 plus. Anders Elkjær is one position away from getting into the top 10. The Dane in the 194 has been absolutely scything his way through the field, and he's running nigh on comparative times to the leaders. 52.940 was his last lap. His best time has been a 52.8, but still with the pace that Jeroen Bos and Thierry Del Rey, no one has had a real answer for it. But I think with this performance from Anders Elkjær at the moment is showcasing that Dane is going to be a true, proper danger a little bit later on when we have the final. So we got this plus, I would say, another 3 laps. So 14 laps, what we're possibly going to be scheduling for the race here for the KZ2 Masters. But Thierry Del Rey focusing his efforts more on the team rather than him specifically as not just a team boss, but as a competitor. So from that respect, you have to give him kudos for getting back behind the wheel and then just trying to do his level best. But we'll have 3 more laps to go, so lap 11 about to be completed. Del Rey's got the fastest lap in the pocket on lap 8, so 52.594. Jeroen Bos has kept that lead to around about 0.3 of a second. But Del Rey a little bit deeper on the brakes into turn 2. He would have looked up at the time, well, he would have looked up or probably seen any time remaining as he pulls up the gears coming out of turn 6. So timer has expired. Oh, we've had a drama for Niels Koster. And what's more, Anders Elkjær. All that hard work has just been undone by one move. Oh, it's heart-wrenching. It's absolutely heart-wrenching when that kind of thing happens. But now, well, we've been concentrating on this quite a lot because this battle has been mesmerising. Between Jeroen Bos, between Thierry Del Rey, 2 laps to go. Del Rey has got that gap down to just over 0.26 of a second. And now you can see by the driving style, the aggressive nature of a man who's quite, you know, he's a gentle giant as Thierry Del Rey. You put him behind the wheel of a 6-speed shifter and you're battling him, the friendship goes out of the window. Believe you me. Believe you me. They're coming through out of turn number 8 now. It's a kart length and a half between the pair. And Costa and Alkier are out, I'm afraid. But next time around, we're going to go on to our final lap of this KZ2 Masters race. And what's Thierry Del Rey got underneath his magician's sleeve, I wonder? Or would he pull a rabbit out of the hat for this one? Last lap underway, 0.161. Very different in terms of the approach sometimes. Reference direct drive to shifters. You cannot just carry your hopes and dreams on momentum. You've got to use precision. They're pulling back on the gear stick to shift down and pushing it forwards to go up the gearbox. Jeroen Bos at this point has kept Thierry Del Rey behind him. But there's only a handful of corners to go. If Del Rey times it nicely, what could happen? Jeroen Bos might be in a photo finish race across the line. Out of turn number 10, Del Rey trying to tee up something here. Could it be something special for the 103? No, I don't think so. Out of the final corner, Jeroen Bos mugged Thierry Del Rey at the start, and he picks up the win after 14 laps by just over 2 tenths. Wesley de Waal takes P3. Thierry de Jong finishes 4th. Glenn van den Hoek, the defending champion, P5. Yannick Quirijnen, Neki Berhenin, Niels Berlin, Mike Hendricks, and Martin Versteeg round out the top 10. Erik Angenent finishes in 11th. Alan Kenyon and Sam Ward, 2 of the 3 Brits on the grid, made up 15 and 13 spots between them to finish 12th and 13th. Of course, the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships KZ2 event is currently going on at the moment in Dunkerswell, Mansell Raceway in the West Country in the United Kingdom as we speak. Bas Schulten and Mick Bertram round out the top 15. William van der Kaaij 16th, ahead of Bas Steen, Edgar Oosting, Benno Ridder, Mark Verhoeven, Gert van den Brink, Alexander Hommerson, Anton Gidding and Ries Llewellyn rounding out the 24 finishers. Niels Koster and Anders Alkier out abruptly on lap 11, with Sebastian Coppenol and William Klooster out at turn 7, lap 1.